this series of videos, I want to be very meticulous as I go along. So I hope you'll be patient with me, and as I go along, you'll find this interesting. Thanks again. Picking up where I left off last time, I have my diagrams the way I want them now, at least good enough to work with. And as you can see, they're definitely 1:72. And then in my last video, which was my Duneland IPMS contest video, I showed you that I got that other tracker kit, and I am seriously considering using these tails. Or these tails, whichever. But now that I have like this backup kit, I'm thinking and how I want to do this, and with these details, a lot of the details are already in here, whereas I wouldn't have to scribe them. I would just add to the scribing. And if I can stay on, and I'll use the other kit as an example. So hopefully you can see this, but on this one, it's right on the line. Okay, so this curve is equal to that curve almost perfectly. Here, on this fuselage, it follows it really nice until about there. And then I would go back just to be on the safe side. I'd come back a little bit. And since I have to create this piece up on the top anyway, that maybe this would be a good place to do it, to cut the two. Because the more I think about this and look at these pieces, to get this opening correct on this, you can see there's no support inside there or anything. And I'll pop some references in of the tail, but those tails fit in at an angle, and it's very specific. And to have to build this up and reinforce all that to get those tail pieces to go in there at the correct angle and sit at the correct angle and everything, that's going to be a lot of work to do that in there. Also, I do like this detail here. Looks obviously nicer than this detail. I do think that's a ton of work, and I think it's actually easier if I make this cut right on this panel line. So get all this lined up, mark where that is. Okay, it's that panel line, I mark it there. I do the same thing here. Okay, I mark it there. I cut that with my miter box. And then I think it's much easier to take this piece and put it to that piece and fix that seam than it is to try to rebuild this in here and get that angle just right so that these sit at the correct angle, and so on and so forth. And then I may take a similar approach just because this nose is, it is delicate, and I'm worried about drilling into it and everything. I think it may be easier to take the same approach, cut the nose off this one, and this plastic is easier to work with. Oh, and it already has at least the spot where I would do that. So I'm leaning in that direction as well, as taking the same approach. And then I can join that nose together, work on it separately if I want, get it all detailed, and then pop it on there and fix the seam. Yeah, the wheels are always spinning on this thing. So I think that's the approach I'm gonna take. So then I proceeded to do just that. Using my 1:72 map, I put those pieces on there, marked out where they needed to be cut, and then put them on the miter saw and cut them out. All right, so put these on here. They don't line up perfectly, which is fine. I kind of purposely went to either side, and when I line that up, this is just that side of the line. Good, so I sand back to that, and then line this up, same thing. So with this now, I'll try to keep this perpendicular, sand these back each way, and I'm looking at the way these join up. We'll see. I'm hoping that lines up, and then it'll just be some cleanup, and then I'll probably reinforce it from the inside as well with some styrene rod or something. So yeah, this is going to be a big help in making sure I get everything straight. Still have to do all that cockpit stuff. Well, put all that in there. And I have to do this and make a decision on that nose. But at least this step, I'm happy. And then one other thing. So then I also tested the ultra thin glue on here, and it does glue this together actually better than the super glue. So I'm going to be using this going forward. So until then, thanks for watching and happy modeling.